This is my assistant, Matt Jones, and he's going to be helping me out today as far as demonstrating the technique. So let's go into delayed sword. Okay, this technique is against, we always say direction first, a front right hand lapel grab. Now the primary threat here isn't the grab, alright? Any attacker that comes up and grabs your shirt, like this specific example, I have two hands available and he only has one. Okay, so don't get intimidated by a grab. That's the exact thing that the opponent wants, is just to instill intimidation. Now the thing I am worried about is a cross punch, or being pulled into a punch with this other arm. That's going to be the primary threat. So our first move, or what we call our key basic, the first series of moves that actually control or nullify the attack is what's going to cancel out that side of his body. So first thing I'm going to do is the left hand's going to come up and I'm going to pin his hand to my body. Make sure you keep the left hand anchored for maximum leverage, otherwise he's going to slip out. I'm going to take my left foot tight roping and step back to a modified forward bow stance. I don't have a 60-40 weight distribution, we keep it 50-50. As I step back with my left foot, I'm going to chamber my right hand for a hammering inward block. Now here's an interesting part about this chambering. If the attacker did decide to punch, okay, we'll go from the ideal phase to the what if phase. Let's say he punches, and in the process of doing this chamber right here could be used to actually deflect or block that strike. So it's a multi-dimensional move here. After I chamber and I'm in my stance, I'm going to rotate into a right neutral, solidifying, utilizing rotational torque, and I'm going to crash a hammering inward block down right on top of the attacker's bicep to deaden the arm. That's going to control or isolate the left side of his body. It's going to affect his height, width, and depth zones. Notice how it obviously lowered his height. Okay, and here we are. From here, I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to transition into a 45-degree cat stance. What this does is it gets my weight on my rear leg. So I'm going to slide forward. Notice how I pulled him or keep him off balance consistently as I pull to that cat stance. From here, I'm going to execute a right snap kick to the groin. That's going to keep the attacker bent down or accentuate them bending down. Then I'm going to plant down utilizing what we call marriage of gravity and execute a right hand sword to the back of the attacker's neck. Guards come up and then you cross out from that point. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. So the opponent grabs. First, we pin the hand. Drop back, pull him with you, chamber, rotate, and block. Transition your weight to your rear foot, snap kick, plant down, chop to the back of the neck, and cross out. Okay, now let's look at what we call sequential opportunities in the technique. This is where we get into additional moves or hidden moves that are within the core foundation of your technique. When he grabs and I pin his hand to my chest here, what I can do is elongate this circle here and swipe or catch to the eyes prior to pinning. It's in there. You're not modifying or altering the technique at all. It's just a sequential opportunity in the sequence of moves. Okay? If he's threatening to punch, he's obviously gonna if I hit his head in this direction, okay, his body's going to move in the direction his head goes. It's going to cancel in a small way as well this side of his body. So that's your first sequential move. The next is when we drop back into our stance here and we chamber. In the process of bringing this hand up here, I could have struck to the solar plexus with a back knuckle strike, then catching the chin. Alright, now when I pivot and rotate in to do my hammering inward block, if I elongate the path of this, then I could come through the bridge of the nose, raking down prior to striking to the bicep. Okay, from here, I'm going to slide back and transition. If his head is this close, in the process of chambering for a snap kick, you've got a knee that can come up to the head. Then I execute my snap kick. Okay, from here, I've got a chamber more or less for this hand sword. In the process of chambering, what I can do is bring the elbow up or clip it through the face to bring him up a little bit, and then finally plant down with my last move. So there's a lot of hidden moves that are in these techniques that you're not going to see throughout the rest of the video. I just want you to go through your techniques and figure out what every single motion can be used for, not as an embryonic basic, but get into multidimensional or sophisticated basics where the move has more than one meaning. Okay? We're going to go ahead and do it one more time, full speed and power, so you can see what it looks like, and then head into the next technique. So he grabs, you drop back, block, kick, chop, and cross out. Good. Thank you, Matt.